Item number 8. Officer delegations. Oh, Robert.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yes, this is a procedural matter, but it's also important for you to understand where I'm heading on this particular issue. About 2.5 years ago, I think, I approached Council at the time to provide delegations to the 2 members of staff that are named on this report, and at that time the Council weren't particularly comfortable with approving that, and I think that was on the basis of not really knowing Brian and Will particularly well, because at that point in time they hadn't really been exposed to the chamber. Over that time, I think Brian and Will have done their fair share of work within the chamber, and hopefully have developed a bit of confidence with elected members that they are capable senior managers within the organisation. From a philosophical perspective, I don't operate with a deputy per se. I operate with a team of senior managers that at any particular time, if the worst case were to occur, that they were all capable and trained in undertaking all of the activities of a chief executive. Obviously, that's not going to happen on a very frequent basis, but particularly for career progression and for job enhancement and job satisfaction, I would like to take the opportunity to enhance my management team by providing that ability to give that experience and to all of my 4 most senior managers within the organisation. So that's the philosophy behind the report. If I was to fall over tomorrow or walk away, I believe that you will have a capable, well-trained team of 4 people to be able to then turn to, rather than just limit where the experience lies.
So just for example, if you're going away, you will appoint 1 out of the...
There's only 1 senior manager that automatically, as of right, has the delegation to act for me, and that is Alan in the CIO role. If I was to appoint any of the other 3 managers to that role whilst I was away for a period of time, days or perhaps a week or 2, I would email all elected members to let you know what's happening and what the duration would be.
Okay. All right. Any questions or queries of Mr. Williams? Councillor Cousins?
Just through the chair, so just so I get this right, so if you're not here and Alan's not here, you want to have a 3rd one and a 4th one to pick up that role?
No, I see it more operating in the fact that we run sort of quite a nurturing and supportive management team, and so it's highly likely that all 4 senior managers would be here whilst I wasn't here, but I would be able to identify one of the 4 to be able to take the reins for that particular time, but they would be very much supported by the rest of the team that was here. I don't anticipate a time where we would have 3 group managers away and myself all at the same time. That would be an unusual experience.
So is there time limits wrapped around those?
In terms of time limits, from a pragmatic perspective, I only have a certain number of weeks leave per year, and so I wouldn't expect them to be acting for the whole duration of my time away. I would expect them to be acting for portions of that time away.
Is there a high duties allowance payable to them for doing the role?
No, it's not actually a salary issue.
Are they required to provide
It's more about job enhancement and career progression, because again, I wouldn't expect my management team to be here for a period of 20 years, and to be able to give good staff, very capable staff, the ability to move on in their careers. This sort of delegation gives them exposure to experience that can then enhance their opportunity for future progression.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask the question, organisation like ours, as in size, total expenditure, etc., what's the norm?
Within our peer group, I would say we are one of the leanest management teams out. I have seen structures that have 6 or 7 managers.
Sorry, Rob, I mean the number that may take the place of the CEO if he's away.
That would vary. That would depend on the chief executive. I would say it's not unusual to run an organisation in this way. Some local authorities, I don't know, I would have to guess, let's say half of the local authorities have a nominated deputy. But again, philosophically, I don't like to operate with a nominated deputy. I think that puts too many eggs in one basket when we have a very nurturing, capable team.
Thank you.
Okay. Councillor Jollins?
Just a couple of questions. Thank you for Rob. What process will you go through to decide which officer you will delegate to? Have you set a process that you'll go through to share this?
I'll take each case on its merits, but again, one of the main considerations that I have are the issues that are on the board at the time that I'm going to be away. And again, I would also look at who is around, who can provide support, because the last thing I want to do is leave you guys unsupported as well. So we need to make sure that we've got the right team on the board and the right person making the calls if we're in that situation.
Clarify then, the factors would be what was coming up on the horizon that you knew of, and what support was around for those.
And the workload that they have on at the particular time. Yep.
And we always get notified when you've delegated that authority?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
I'm moving it.
Thank you. Okay, Councillor, moved by Councillor Krastowski, seconded by Councillor Stewart.
Just before
Just
I spoke to the meeting,
Yes.
I would like to add that in the resolution that the CEO does, in writing, put it to the councillor who is taking over in his absence.
Yep, it already exists in resolution, but it exists for the last time, so this would just add to that resolution, would be my understanding. The previous resolution requires me to notify you if it's not Alan that is going to take over, and the reason the resolution's written that way is because I could fall over without any warning, and you need to have already had that delegation in place. So you can re-add that delegation if you wish, but it already exists in the previous delegation from 2 years ago. So I cannot delegate to Gareth, for example, without emailing you. Yep.
Mr Chairman, that's why I find the resolutions quite interesting, because Rob, if you did fall over, you couldn't do what you're required to here, that's put it in writing.
No, and then a new chief executive would come along later and possibly have a restructure, so, yeah.
Well,
Then again, knowing yourself, you might
do we
have to.
give the Undertaker delegated authority too?
But if I'm on my deathbed, I'll still have my mobile phone next to me, so who knows these days.
All right, I think it was moved by Councillor Bird, seconded by Councillor Stewart, sorry. Okay, and I think it's a good resolution this to recognise these guys as up and coming and very respected staff members. So good luck to them. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those against? Carried. Item number 9. Tina Rena, adoption of meeting schedule 2016. I meet in January, is it?
We're meeting in January. First one scheduled for the 2nd of February.
Right.
We've tried to follow a similar format to this last year. However, you'll notice that the Fred and Audit and Risk meetings are now on a Monday rather than the Tuesday, just in terms of trying to fit the meetings in.
Okay.
Happy to answer any questions.
Mr Chairman,
Thanks very much.
Mrs Jakes, we've finally achieved that we meet on the 4th Tuesday of the month, which is brilliant.
And I'm changing it just to see whether you...
Because down here it still says the last, and then we're not taking into account the February, where it's the first Monday and 4th Monday, so maybe that could be added. Thank you.
I see there's no meetings in October either.
No, there's nothing that'll all be decided after October.
All right. Anyone wants to add any commentary to that, or happy with that? Okay, with that being the case, moved by Councillor Jolland, seconded by Councillor Park. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried. Item number 10, council engagements.
One further meeting to add on the 7th, emergency management meeting. I think that's 1 o'clock start, 1 till 2.
On what date, sorry?
On the 7th, Monday the 7th.
7th,
Yep.
yep.
You just,
Park?
through the chair, part 2 of the recommended resolution was about retrospective approval given to a free workshop in Rotorua. I actually didn't attend. I had my twins sitting an exam in the intermediate that day, so I stayed and supported them instead.
Bernard attended.
I attended on your behalf. So.
Yeah.
So I'll amend that.
Nothing else we need? Okay. Thank you. Could I have a mover, please? Thank you, Councillor Cousins, seconded by Councillor Jollins. 1 and 2. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Carried. Item number 11, members' reports. Finish those. Does anyone have any verbal reports I want to mention?
Just Mr Chairman, in regards of the last access meeting, we've had a few complaints in regards of those big gum trees down by Countdown, the access across the street, etc. Now, I know they're supposed to be protected trees, but it's becoming a bit of a standing joke. But also the trees, I noticed when I was down with Rob on the waterfront, the gums alongside our brand new path, it's an absolute mess. Now, apparently those gum trees were planted by the wind in year 1. Should they not be removed and something...
When you're in the Taranaki.
Trying to make an attractive town, those gum trees, particularly on that corner, are causing a whole lot of problems.
We've got as staff, we've got a list as long as that are Turangi in terms of trees that we would probably like to take out, so we're more than happy to bring a list to the Fed committee to discuss if that helps. Yep.
But those are terrible, on the corner.
Good luck.
I just
Good luck with that one.
You're saying access wheelchairs.
Yeah, well, you can't get across the street.
I was going to say that. They'd have to, yeah.
Only the ones that are not notable trees, though.
Sorry?
We'll only bring item to do with non-notable trees.
Non-notable
Fred.
trees, so somewhere we need to address that issue.
Yeah.
Through the
So
district.
can you not bring a notable tree
So
to the
it's
Fed
a
committee?
district plan change.
District plan change.
Plan change or a resource consent to remove, and you'll only get either of those if the trees are a danger.
So resource consent?
You won't get it.
Well, can I then ask, if it's a notable tree, and you get those high winds and all those sparks, they call them runners or something, smack into a car, or the trees tip over into the marketplace or whatever, who's liable?
Again, we can remove the trees, we can trim the trees if they are causing a danger, but in a normal course of events, and this has happened all around the country where this has happened, is that nobody's liable. It's an act of God, and that's been tested through the courts repeatedly around the country. We're not, in fact, I'd say Taupo is probably one of the councils that has least issues with protected trees compared to most others. I was in New Plymouth before here, and you know New Plymouth very well. Here we just don't have a tree issue compared to them.
So the Ferry Road trees aren't notable, are they? They're noticeable, but they're not notable.
There are some notable trees on Ferry Road.
Those in the corner.
Really?
Some
Are they notable?
Boat Harbour there on the corner is notable, and there's a couple there that are notable.
The ones in the corner of Ridout Street and the main highway.
They are notable.
I think they are.
They are notable.
So the process is, if we deemed these trees to be dangerous,
If you
they
deem
could
them-
possibly bring that to the Fred committee.
Sorry, no. If you're concerned about a particular tree, then let us know. We'll get our arborists to go and have a look at them. If they are dangerous from a science perspective, then there's a process. We still need to get resource consent, but there's a process we can go through to get a consent to remove. Those particular trees on the corner there, they aren't considered dangerous. They've been looked at quite regularly on an annual basis, and that's part of our risk management, if you like, is that we continually monitor these things. Because it does change, what's safe now might be not safe after the next.
Can we report all of these through to the next Fred committee meeting, just even if it's a report to say what the status of these trees is? I think it would be a helpful starting point. Yep.
Copper nails.
Through the roots and just redo the road.
You don't have to do work for the roots though.
Yeah. John can go down at midnight, copper nails.
How about accidentally?
Councillor Zane?
Through the chair, I just want to say thank you to a couple of councillors, namely John Williamson, who isn't here today, and also to John Boddy, for always coming to our meetings in Turangi and taking a very proactive part of our discussions, knowing exactly what is going on down there. It is really appreciated by our community, so I just wanted to thank John and John for that. And just finally, to announce my intention to run for the Auckland Mayoralty, because every other idiot is, so I thought I'd throw my hat in the ring.
Oh, we'll miss you here.
Briefly.
All right, thank you very much.
I'd just like to make one comment.
Councillor Hickling.
I've managed, I think, Zane, Councillor
Attention,
Cousins.
please.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Could I have your attention, please?
She distracts me and I get blamed.
Hand off.
I've managed to get the item of the Bully Point swimming on the next agenda on Monday at Hamilton.
Wow, well done, Barry.
So I don't know whether it'll make any difference.
So
It's on the
this is
agenda.
this Bully Point swimming situation.
Yes,
So,
yes.
so Councillor Harvey could go down with her string bikini to dive off after all. On the water wheel, on the water.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Just as someone in Gareth or one of the other senior managers said, the concern was about we don't want to get it to the Bully Point thing. We don't want to make it to what we wish for. Is that what you, was it Gareth or people what we wish for? Yeah, but we don't want to ruin it. But I'm sure it'll be handled in some.
Well, probably if there's that metal area just a bit below, if we could get some signage to say park here sort of thing, or that's all I was thinking.
No, good. No, thank you, Barry.
Better still of the TT get some traction, the cycleway.
Yes.
Yeah, it could be an opportunity to fix it there too. Yeah. All right, well done. Thank you, councillors, for all your work and your attendance on the meetings and various meetings around the district. As much as against, carried. Okay, rest of the meeting is in confidence. So, can I have a mover, please? We go into confidence for the matters outright. Councillor Jollins, seconded by Councillor Ackling. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Okay, thank you. And you wanted a 2-minute break, just to time lag here. Thank you, Matt.